Students, welcome to my YouTube channel My Health 2021. Myself Ashish M. Kandalkar, Principal, Department of Pharmacy, LSRG Institute of Pharmacy, Akola. You can contact me at ashishkandalkar1@gmail.com or you can visit my website myhealth2021.com. Today we are going to discuss about the channels of distribution, which is the chapter 3 of DSBM. Students, if you haven't seen my two chapters presentation, that is chapter 1 and chapter 2, I request you to go and see that presentation also. So learning outcome of these topics are how any products reaches to us, types of businesses, as well as who and what is mean by middleman. You are also going to understand which type of business is good for you if you are planning to open your own pharmacy. Either you go for retailer or wholesaler. So you are also going to get the detailed information about the wholesaler and retailer. So let us begin. So DSBM part 1, that is commerce, and chapter 3, channels of distribution. So students, have you ever thought that how products reaches to us? So after starting the journey of the product from the manufacturer, the product has to take various stoppages at different levels, then products reaches to us. We are going to see the distribution means the process of transferring goods from factory into the hands of consumers. So products, as you are aware, it is manufactured in the various factory which might not be available at the local level, but the product will manufacture at different state, different countries, and the product will reaches to us through various medias. So there are two ways of selling the product, that is direct selling, where the products comes from manufacturer to the customers directly. So I would like to give one example. If you buy the Samsung mobile phone directly from the Samsung's website, then the product will directly come to you from the manufacturer without going through any in between process. So students, the second is indirect selling. Indirect selling means the product from manufacturer to the customers through wholesaler or retailer or both. So there are certain things which I am going to explain here. The first thing is from manufacturer to retailer and from retailer to consumer. So there is one link in between the consumer and manufacturer, that is retailer. So in second case, the product from manufacturer goes to wholesaler and from wholesaler goes to retailer and finally it reaches to the consumer. So there are two stoppages in between consumer and manufacturer, while in third case the product from the manufacturer reaches to the distributor, from distributor reaches to the wholesaler, and from wholesaler it goes to retailer, and finally it reaches to the consumer. So this is the very long chain. This chain takes lots of time, as well as the cost of product increases as every members of the chain is paid certain amount of the product. After that, in the fourth case, the product from manufacturer reaches to wholesaler and from retailer it finally goes to the consumer. So friends, here I have added one more point about the pharmaceutical marketing, as well as I have tried to make this chapter as much as similar with the pharmaceutical marketing. So the pharmaceutical marketing of the branded product is one of the type of indirect selling, where from product after manufacturing of the product it reaches to the depot. After depot it goes to super stockist, from super stockist it goes to the stockist or the wholesaler, After that it reaches to the retailer, and finally the product will be handed over to the consumer. Such a long chain of pharmaceutical product is there, which is indirect channel of marketing. So for this making this happen, there is one field force is working, including general manager, assistant general manager, zonal manager, regional manager, area sales manager, as well as medical representative. Each and every member of this chain is getting certain amount of the commission, as well as these members or the field force are getting paid by the company. That's why the branded product of the companies are somewhat costlier compared to the generic medicine. If you are talking about the generic medicine, the product from the manufacturer directly goes to the wholesaler or retailer, and finally it goes to the consumer. That's why the charges of the product or the MRP of the product is somewhat cheaper than that of the branded product. And this, in the generic product, this team is not working for the selling out the product or marketing of the product. That's why the generic products are somewhat cheaper than that of the branded products. So after that we are going to learn about the middleman. So all these examples, the wholesaler and retailer, brokers, commission agents are acts as a middleman. So here there are two types of the middleman. The middleman is the person who works in between the manufacturer and the consumer. So first example of middleman, it is functional middleman. So those intermediates which performs the function of various marketing, they can't acquire the title for goods, they don't invest the money on products also. So such type of agents are called as brokers, commission agents, auctioneers, and deal credit agents. So brokers are those agents who obtain neither the possession nor the ownership of the good, and their only function is to bring the buyers and seller together. While the commission agents are the agents who sell goods on behalf of the seller, they negotiate the sale of goods, take processing of the goods, and make the arrangement for the transfer of the title to the goods. After that, the auctioneers are the agent who sell the goods on behalf of their principals by auction. In an auction, the auctioneers who has collected the goods from the seller display it for would-be buyer and invites bid from them, and finally sell out the products to the consumers. After that, fourth type of functional middleman is deal credit agents. They final buyer for the, so these agents or these middlemen find out the buyer for the seller, and also guarantee the payment of the price of goods on their behalf. In case of any buyer fails to buy it, the deal credit agents who will pay on his behalf. So this is all about the functional middleman. Functional middleman don't have their own title, and they don't invest the money also, just they acts for the on the basis of function. So after that, there is a example of merchant middleman. So merchant middlemen are those who work for profit. They acquire and transfer the goods in their own name. They invest money to their firm. For example, Padia agency, Nishant agency, like that, they have their own names, and they may be wholesaler or retailer. Such middlemen are called as merchant middleman. So in the next slides we are going to see the details of each and every topic. So here we are also going to learn how the product reaches to at various level from manufacturer. The if we are talking about the direct selling, the products from manufacturer goes directly to the consumer, which we have seen in the earlier slides. So in an indirect marketing, the product from manufacturer goes to middleman, and from middleman goes to the consumer. So there are two types of middleman. One is a functional middleman and second one is merchant middleman. So functional middlemen, the examples are brokers, commission agent, auctioneer, Dell creditor agents, like that. And in the merchant middleman there are two types again. One is retailer and second one is wholesaler. So in case of the retailer there are again two types. One is itinerant retailer as well as second one is fixed shop retailer. So itinerant retailer are there are various example I would like to quote, like hawkers and peddlers, street traders as well as market traders. In the fixed shop there are again two types, small scale retailer as well as large scale retailer. So the example of small scale retailer are the street stalls, second hand goods shop, general stores, single line stores are the example of small scale retailer. As well as if you are concerned about the various examples of large scale retailers are retail departmental store, multiple stores, mail order business, consumer cooperative stores. So each and everything we are going to see in the upcoming slides about the details of retailers as well as wholesalers. So wholesalers, so what are the wholesaler? Wholesalers are those merchant who acts as a intermediaries between manufacturers and retailers. So wholesaler obtain the manufactured goods from manufacturer and sell it out to the retailers. So the depending on that the wholesalers are classified into three types: manufacturer wholesaler, retailer wholesaler as well as wholesaler proper. So manufacturer wholesalers are the manufacturer who are busy for manufacturing the various products, who obtain the various goods from the other companies and manufacture the final product and sell it out to the wholesaler. So while the retail wholesaler are the wholesaler who obtain the products from the manufacturer and sell it out to the retailer. And after that the third point is wholesaler proper. So wholesaler proper, these wholesaler proper concrete solely on buying and selling of goods in a large quantities. They are also known as distributors. So in the pharmaceutical field they are also called as the super stockist. Here we are going to see the various functions of the wholesaler. So assembling is the one of the important function of the wholesaler, where he is going to assemble the various product, like assembling the various products of the different companies like Torrent, Cipla, Ranbaxy, whatever the agencies he is having, he going to assemble each and every product of that industry. After that there is the distribution. So so these assembled products he has to distribute it amongst the retailer. Next is warehousing. Warehousing means just storing the product at larger quantities, that is called as warehousing. After that he must transport the product from him to the retailers, that is the transportation. Financing, so he must give the some site to the retailer for paying the bill amount by the retailer, that is called as financing. As well as the risk bearing is the one of the important function of the wholesaler, as he is getting stock of lots of the pharmaceutical products. He has to take the risk of that product, either the product is going to sell out or not, that is called as risk bearing. He has to quote the prices of the different products also for the certain products. After that he has to grade the products and pack the products also. This is the also one of the important functions of wholesaler. After that the next function is the market research. So market research is nothing but finding out the right product to be stock. So he has to get the market research first, and after that the proper market research he has to order the product. Otherwise he should not order the product which are not greatly moving in the market. After that we will go to the retailers. So retailers are the middleman between the wholesaler and consumers. So retailers are the one of the end of the distribution channel from whom the products finally go to the end, that is consumers. So there are various functions of the retailer, that is white charge to the customers, ready stock, transport, grading, risk bearing, financing, market research, as well as sale promotion. So these are all the functions of the retailer where we are going to study one by one. Wide choice of customers means most of the customers from different types of the doctor. If we are talking about the pharmacy, the different type of the prescription comes to the retailer, that is the wide choice of customers are available to the retailer. While to the wholesaler there are retailers are the customers of the wholesaler, while the consumers are the customers of retailer, and that is the wide choice. So ready stock, so making the ready stock is one of the important function of the retailer. A retailer keeps ready stocks of all goods so that he is able to meet the demands of his customers all the time. After that, transport. So transportation of the product from wholesaler source or from retailer source to the consumer source also in case of emergency should be done by the retailer. After that, grading. Normally grading of the goods is done either by the producers or sometime by the wholesaler. However, retailer does not grade of the goods which have been left ungraded by the manufacturer and the wholesaler. Fifth is the risk bearing. Retailers have to maintain reasonable stocks of the goods. So that is also the one of the risk of retailer, as he has maintained the stock and he has not any guarantee that this stock is going to sell out or not. After that, financing. So they provide the financial help to the customer by selling them the goods on credit. So there may be chances that some of the time the customer don't have the money to buy the product at that time. So the retailer should give some site to the customer so that they can buy the product on time. After that, the market research. So before starting the retailer shop, the pharmacist should go for market research, which product is moving better, which product is not moving better. Depending on that, depending on the good moving prescription of the doctors, he or she has to order the product from the wholesaler. After that, there is sale promotion. So retailer has to promote the products by various means. The one of the important example of sales promotion, it is window display method, by which the silent sale promotion of the product can be done. So after that we will also see the about the details of the retailers. So in the previous slide we have seen, so one is uh, itinerant retailers. So they don't have any fixed place, like ice cream shop, hot dogs, like that. These are the retailer which don't have their fixed place, called as hawkers. Street traders, market traders are the various examples of itinerant retailer. After that, the fixed shop retailers, they have their fixed shop at one place, and this is divided into two types. First is small scale retailer shop, that is street stall, second hand goods shop, as well as general stores, single line stores, special stores, and large scale retailer shop. So here we are going to see the difference between the wholesaler and retailer. So wholesaler is the middleman between the manufacturer and the retailer, and the retailer acts as a middleman between wholesaler and the customers. So wholesaler buy the products from the manufacturer while retailer buy the products from the wholesaler. So deal with large scale business, deal with small scale business in case of the retailer. After that, the location of wholesale shop is not important, while the location of retail shop is very important. Next one is window display is not important, while as we are discussed earlier, window display is very important in case of promoting the products. So don't have direct customer contacts. So wholesaler, they don't have direct customer contact, while the retailers, they have direct customer contact. So wholesaler got the very less margin, that is around 5 to 6%, while retailers got margin around 15 to 20%. So here one of the example, that is retail departmental store. So retail departmental store is work under one roof with large quantities and varieties of the products. So you must have visited various departmental stores at metro cities. So advantages of these retail departmental stores are: provides great convenience, it keeps large variety of goods, as well as departmental store mainly located at central place of the city, as well as the most of the products they are available at less margin as they purchase the product on bulk. It provides add-on facilities like telephone facilities, water facilities, transportation facilities, like that. It provides better hospitality also. So there are certain disadvantages. So high investment is there if you want to start your own. Then overhead expenses are too high. Too much staff is required to handle the stores, as well as less personal attention is there, and personal relation of owner are not maintained, as the owner doesn't directly come into the customers, so personal relation with the customers are not maintained. Central location may be somewhat unreachable to long distance people. So as it is not nearby place, it is the center place, so it may be a concern to some of the people. So after that we will see the multiple shop or chain stores. So multiple shops or the chain stores are the group of the shop in the same branch of the retail trade. These are branches of one main stores. So examples like Apollo Pharmacy, Deep Healthcare Enterprises, as well as Fortis Health World. So these are the some of the examples of multiple shop or chain stores. So here there is one of the head office, and from that head office most of the franchises are given at the different levels of the cities or interior places. So setup of these multiple shop or the chain stores are same. Each and every shop should have same setup. That is the one of the unique identity of multiple shop or chain store. So the advantages are less product price due to bulk purchase at center stores, considerable increase in sale due to a lot of branches, uniformity in the shop as we are discussed earlier, shortage of supply can be wiped out easily by taking the products from nearby retailer, direct contact between producer and customers, as well as business is strictly maintained on cash basis only, hence no bad debits are there, and uniform policies as designed by the head office is followed by each and every franchisor. After that, there are certain disadvantages, like it deals with the limited range of products, staff is not control effective as head office is too far from the branches, staff has little freedom to take their own decision. If they want to take the decision, they has to contact with the head office. There is no provision for any facilities to the customers, and the owner of multiple shop cannot make any personal contact with the customer, as he or she is not directly coming in direct contact with the customer. After that, there is a difference between departmental store and multiple shops. So departmental store offers wide variety of products, while multiple shop or chain stores, they sell particular type of product. They don't have the wide range of products, don't have uniform price system. But multiple shop chain products are having uniform price system. The departmental stores are located in central place of the city, while multiple shop are distributed throughout the city. Control over activities of store is easy in the departmental stores, so it is difficult to have control over all branches in the multiple shop. No uniformity of shop is shop decoration, while there is very good uniformity in shop decoration, and they sell goods on cash and credit also. So departmental store sell the product on cash and credit, while multiple shop chain products sell goods on cash only. So variety of goods are available in departmental stores, while in case of multiple shop there is no variety of goods available. The products are those products are available which are sent from head office. So one of the most growing business nowadays, it is a mail order business. So these mail order business are also called as affiliator business. We are sending mail directly to the customer without involving middleman or the wholesaler. So company can send directly mail to the customers, and customers can buy the product on the basis of that mail, and product will be delivered at the customers directly. So types of mail order businesses are manufacturer mail order house, departmental mail house order business, or middleman mail order business. So here manufacturer can directly mail to the customers and get the order from the customers directly, while the departmental mail orders or departmental stores send the mail to the customers, and the customers will get the product from the departmental stores directly on the basis of mail received. After that, the middleman also do the business on the basis of the middleman also do the business on the basis of mail order business. So middleman can send the email to the customers and get the business from the customers. The advantages of mail order businesses are: system does not need a shop or showroom to start the business. So the mail order business can be started by any person. So what he has to, just he has to act as a function man in between the wholesaler, in between the manufacturer and the customers. So running expenses are very low, as there is very less employees are required. Small amount of capital is required for the business compared to the fixed businesses. After that, seller get very wide market. So by means of mail order delivery business, he is having the wide variety of market. The sky is the limit for such persons. So product can be promoted to customer through advertisement only. So no need to meet the customers physically. So there are certain disadvantages of mail order delivery business. So buyer cannot examine the goods before its purchase. You can't see the product physically before you buy that product in the mail order business. Advertisement require large amount of money. So sometimes if you want to reach to the customers, you have to pay the lots of money on the advertisements. So credit facility is not available for the customers, as the customers are directly putting the order on the basis of mail. So most of the time, or the credit facility is not available for the customers. There is risk of damage of goods during transport. That is the one of the disadvantage, while lack of personal contact with the manufacturer and the customers. And finally, illiterate cannot be benefited by mail order delivery system. So one of the business is there, that is consumer cooperative stores. So group of people come together and buy the shares of the society and start the cooperative stores. So there are certain groups, the starting from 7 to 20, 80, like that. The person come together, they invest the money through buying the shares of that cooperative stores and start the store. So advantage of such kind of stores are consumer can get the quality products at lower price as the bulk order is placed by the cooperative store. Variety of products are available for public. Lots of varieties are available to the public as the money is directly invested on that, on the various products. And third one is members can get the discount on the product. So those members who are registered or who have got the shares of that cooperative stores can get the products at less price compared to the general public. No need of advertising the products. So in such kind of business, there is no need to advertise. As there are certain disadvantages of cooperative stores, there difficulty in managing the business due to new members without experience, takes time for making any decision as these stores is run by many peoples. Sometimes lack of member coordination is also the one of the big disadvantage of cooperative stores. So friends, just I want to summarize the things within 1 minute. So we are learn about the channels of distribution, what are the various channels, what is meant by middleman and what is the function of the middleman, as well as wholesaler. We all learn about the wholesaler, who are the wholesaler who buys the goods from the manufacturer and sell it out to the retailer. So retailer are the agents which buy the products from the wholesaler and sell it to the customers. As well as there are certain departmental store who is having the large variety of the products for the customers. After that, the multiple shop chain order business we all learn. So these multiple shop chain order business are nothing but the franchises of the various company with the small, with the same decoratum. As well as mail order business delivery system, we will learn how to do the mail order business. So this mail order business now are called as the affiliation market or the affiliator. Finally, consumer cooperative stores. So by coming together 8 to 10 people, they can start the cooperative society and run the cooperative stores for general public, as well as they can get benefited in terms of discount. So students, thanks for watching the presentation. Please subscribe my channel because you get the notification for premiere release also. There are certain important questions which are asked in the exam. So first question is mention the various function of wholesaler. Second question is what do you understand by departmental store and understanding by departmental store, mention its advantages and disadvantages, as well as difference between multiple shop system and departmental stores, what is mail order business, how it is utilized for pharmaceutical products, what are the various functions of retailers or wholesaler, what are various channels of distribution of pharmaceutical products, as well as difference between wholesaler and retailers. Thank you students.